If you can see a pattern of behavior or of thought or even of emotions, you don't have to repeat it. The first step is to become aware of it. Today, I want to share my favorite technique for seeing these patterns, especially the ones that do not serve you. Hi, I'm Miriam, and welcome to Emotional Intelligence for Life. So, I call this pattern the mirror technique. There are many mirror techniques out there. Mine is a bit different. I use other people as a mirror for myself. How does this work? So I learned from Susie Moore that when we admire somebody for anything they do or the kind of person they are, so if you think somebody is amazing because they are ... that's because you are the same. You have the same values. You already have the qualities you admire in others. You recognize yourself, which is wonderful. So every time you admire somebody, every time you want to praise someone for something they do or for who they are, just know that you recognize it because they are like you. So be proud of yourself too while you're at it. Right. Now, the technique I've been using for decades is actually a flip side of this knowledge, of this understanding that people are mirrors. What you see in others reflects things about yourself. I noticed many years ago that when I get annoyed by somebody's behavior or by their values, even the thoughts they keep saying out loud, that's because I have the same thoughts, I do the same, I behave in the same way. So every single time somebody annoys me, I pause and I ask myself, am I doing the same thing? One of my biggest bad habits used to be, I can't do that, because people in my life constantly said it. They constantly said, I can't do that, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. And this used to drive me absolutely crazy. And then I figured out that the reason why it drives me crazy is because somewhere deep down, I have internalized these thoughts. Somewhere deep down, way beyond my conscious mind. Somewhere where I cannot actually hear it. A part of me is repeating the same sentence. I can't do that. But because it's so unconscious, it's this ticker tape that runs below everything, which most of us do not really notice anymore because it's so in the background. But it does influence the decisions we make. It makes us hesitate, maybe. It makes us pick the safe path. It prevents us from doing what we actually really want to do. So once you notice what is actually going on, what these thoughts in the background are, you can change them. And here is where the mirror technique is so powerful, because we don't notice these thoughts in ourselves anymore. But when other people behave in a way that is super annoying, it screams in our faces. Super easy to spot. Super duper easy to spot. I had a moment yesterday. I was sitting around with people and they were complaining a lot. And I paused, because this is how the technique works. Every time you get annoyed by somebody else's behavior, every time you feel annoyance, any form of anger, impatience, frustration with other people, pause. Ask yourself what exactly is frustrating you. And then ask yourself, are you doing it too? Sometimes it's a pattern you've had maybe for a long time, and it annoys you again if it becomes stronger. So with complaining, for example, I notice it more in other people. It bothers me in other people if I have been secretly doing it too. So I may not have complained out loud because I no longer do that, but maybe a part of my mind recently has been a bit whiny. I notice it because I notice it in other people. When it bothers me that they complain, I pause and I think, did I recently complain a lot? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is always yes. Whatever annoys me about other people, that's what I've been doing too. And once you see the pattern, you no longer have to follow it. You can ground yourself. You can come back to your values, the values you really truly want to embrace. You can focus on taking the actions that make you happy, that take you out of these loops, and so on and so on and so on. But the first step is always realizing what's going on. What are those thoughts? What are those patterns you are enacting through your thoughts or through your actions or even through your emotions? Is someone overly dramatic? Well, have you been very emotional lately? Maybe you need to ground more. Anything that annoys you about other people, anything at all, pause and ask yourself, am I doing it too? Make those invisible patterns visible by looking in the mirror and use other people as your mirrors. This isn't about judging others because they can do whatever they want. Let them be. You cannot change other people, you can only change yourself. So let them be. Using them as mirrors, however, super helpful. And that's what I've been doing for decades. Give it a try. The next time you get annoyed with somebody, no matter what it is they do, or even if you just feel frustrated, especially if you get really angry, that's a very strong signal. Ask yourself, am I doing this too? All right. If you find this video helpful, click like, maybe subscribe if you want to be notified for more videos. And if you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the comments. I will reply. All right. Have a wonderful day, and until next time.